Hey everyone, welcome to the Osbourne's podcast. Before we start, I just want to remind everyone to head over to osbournemediahouse.com and sign up, subscribe, do whatever the word is these days for basically getting a membership.
Joining the family.
Join the family. With that membership, you get tons of content, stuff that hasn't been available for a very long time, like the Osbourne series. Currently, the first season is available, and we have 4 episodes of the Basement Tapes available. The Basement Tapes is the show where we watch the old episodes of the Osbournes for the first time in 20-something years, and we talk about it and get really uncomfortable and embarrassed and awkward and emotional. There are highs and there are definite lows.
Lows.
You can use the checkout code HAM25 at the checkout, and that gets you 25% off your first month. The reason we're using HAM25 is because we actually just broke down the infamous ham incident on the Osbournes in one of the Basement Tapes episodes. So go check it out.
Let's read some questions from the fans.
Go on. Let's go for it.
Okay, this one is from Mr. Errol Avant. Not a question, more of a thank you, really, if I may. Thank you to Ozzy and Sharon for what you have done to the world of heavy metal in general. You have given more than you could ever comprehend. Thank you for the words, the interviews, and simply being you, no matter how bizarre to some. That's really nice.
That's really lovely. Thank you, Errol. Thank you very much.
And thank you.
Right, next question. This is from JDog09011. I love you all, but this question is for Kelly. Is baby Sydney ever afraid of Big Sid when he's in his Slipknot mask? No. I thought he was going to, and it's something that we introduced very slowly, and we waited until he was at least a year old. But as soon as he puts the mask on, he finds it so hilarious. And when he sees all his uncles backstage in the mask, he loves it. He's not scared. But if the Easter Bunny or Mickey Mouse came up to him, or the Grinch, he'd absolutely shit himself.
Freak out. Yeah, he did with Father Christmas.
Yeah. But there's something about the guys in Slipknot that he loves. I guess it's because he knows the guys behind the mask. I don't know, but
that's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. And he just grabs onto his dad when he sees him in the mask. It's really sweet. Really, really sweet.
He was hilarious yesterday.
Oh, baby Sydney.
On the spin, on the Lazy Susan.
You give him that little tiny bit of sugar and he's like a madman.
Yeah.
A wild man.
This one is from EJ Blonde.
Blondie-roo.
Blondie-roo. Okay, that's really cute. EJ Blondie-roo. How did Jack enjoy the cameos on Dawson's Creek in the early 2000s, and what did he think of the cast?
Man, I remember being really, like, I don't know, just shy. Like, I was like, oh, like, what am I? I don't know. You know, I was like super nervous, very nervous. And it was great meeting everyone. Yeah, it's kind of funny. You know, James Van Der Beek became a friend later on because he has kids similar age to mine. So we used to hang out when they lived in LA. Him and his wife moved to Texas.
They're a lovely, lovely family.
Yeah. And, you know, I've run into Josh Jackson and always very polite and nice. Yeah, everyone was really cool. It was just a fun experience. I can remember Josh Jackson being really, like, kind of confused.
It's only in retrospect, since we've been doing the Basement Tapes, I'm going to ask this question.
Sure.
Do you remember what Mom was saying to you before you went?
Be polite?
No.
Oh, no drinking.
No partying.
No partying, yeah. Yeah.
Because this was the wild days.
It was, absolutely.
And
Hey,
did you listen?
No. I remember actually going out drinking one night with Josh. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Naughty boy.
Lived it up.
All right, next question. This is from Holly. Ozzy, what's your painting process like? How often do you paint? What materials do you use? What subjects do you paint, etc.?
Yeah, I paint like I don't know any artistic skills, but I just kind of mess around with colours. I can't paint a portrait or anything like that. I just enjoy mixing colours.
You kind of do like, it's very abstract, psychedelic-y.
Yeah.
It's very acid.
A lot of devil faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you come up with the name of the painting first, or do you name the painting afterwards?
After. My favourite name of one of my paintings recently is Dreams on Toast.
That's funny. Dreams on Toast. That's a really good name. What? Someone's going to now start like dreamsontoast.com. You should
That's
trademark
very funny. Okay, next question. Would Kelly ever consider singing with Ozzy again? I would love to see this happen.
Absolutely, if they've got a right song.
Yeah, but I will say, I was saying this before, that the only problem we have is that sometimes when Dad and I were singing together, when we were doing changes, we would get really emotional and start crying and not be able to get through the song. So that is something that...
Is watching the basement tapes when you're seeing a lot of yourself like doing music and touring and promoting and in the studio, has that made you...
It's definitely made me miss it.
Okay, have you thought about maybe getting back in the game?
I've definitely thought about it. I've definitely thought about what my life would have been like if I didn't stop. It's definitely a regret.
Yeah.
Will I do anything about that regret? I don't know.
How come you did decide to stop?
She was a rebel.
Drugs.
Were you busy? I mean, because busy was a big part of it because you were doing so much TV at the time.
I was doing so much TV. I was doing so much touring and so much publicity and so many interviews, and I wanted to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be all work and no play, and I didn't know how to even that out and have any balance in my life. And it was bad, but I also covered up a lot of my insecurity and a lot of the naysaying and comparisons and just shit talking with drugs. I numb myself with it. So it kind of went hand in hand with that with me, and I had to choose myself over all of that.
Fair enough.
Not to get so dark.
Hey, it's Jack Osbourne here, and the Osbournes podcast is sponsored by ButcherBox. ButcherBox is the best thing to ever happen to me. It's a premium meat subscription service dedicated to delivering high-quality meat. Now, it's awesome, and my kids freaking love it because the only thing they eat is fish and meat, and it's a pain in the ass figuring out how I'm gonna feed them, especially when I care about what they're eating. Look, work keeps me busy and I don't always have time to find sustainably sourced meat or seafood for my girls. But ButcherBox makes it a whole lot easier. The meat is delivered right to my door, and when I'm in an even tighter time crunch, ButcherBox has fully cooked meals as options. There are no more excuses when you can put dinner on the table in 15 minutes. With ButcherBox, you don't have to worry about what's for dinner. Right now, ButcherBox is offering new users 2 pounds of ground beef in every box for the lifetime of your subscription. Plus, you get $20 off your first order by going to butcherbox.com/Osbournes and entering the code Osbournes at the checkout. It's a sweet deal. Get on it.
Next question. Oh, I didn't put this one in here, and I didn't see this one before.
I think that
this is
our
from Lola
lovely
Rose
crew.
522.
Our lovely crew made this up.
Lola
I
Rose
know they did.
5222 says, will Sharon reunite the... How do I say this right, Matt? The Sheikettes, and play her disco song live? I didn't see this one before.
You've made it up.
No, here's what I propose.
Who
You ready?
were in the Sheikettes, Mom?
No, here's what I propose. We start a campaign, Eurovision Song Contest 2025, Sheikettes represent England. Get the band back together. I think you could go the distance.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, a little bit of delusion here. Would you all behave? I know that one of this lovely crew of ours has
It's a fan
made
favorite.
it up.
It's a fan favorite topic.
Yeah,
we
you
have to
just
give the
behave.
fans what they want.
Just behave.
They
I
want
think
more
you should knock it
Sheikettes.
on the edge, get them boring.
Dad doesn't like us talking about it anymore.
Okay.
But I still, Mom, I have so many questions, and I know that it's boring, but they go unanswered, and that's why it keeps coming back up.
Questions on what?
Like, who the fuck were the Sheikettes? Who was in the band?
Okay, there was a lawyer that my father used, his wife, and there was a lady that wrote the Rocky theme.
Which one?
That's cool.
Eye of the Tiger or dun 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 dun?
That.
Oh wow.
That's really cool.
Have you ever heard
And
your
she
mother
won an
sing?
Oscar.
I have.
Did you like it?
No, it's terrible.
She sounded like a dying wildebeest.
Not on here. And then I'm like, how did you do this then? Because there was no such thing as Pro Tools and like, you know,
She probably-
Auto-tune.
auto-tune. Exactly. So how did you do that? God, your breath is so intense, Wesley.
They shouldn't make fuss of him.
But I can't help it because I love him.
Yeah, you love him. So you
He
take him,
needs a little mask on, doesn't
you
he?
take the good and the bad.
I do.
Yeah, it is.
Kiss his
It is.
butt.
It is.
No.
You know what I equate the Sheikettes to?
What?
Oh, God.
Here's my comparison. It's like another version of when she sat us down when we were like 13 and 14 and told us that our grandfather was actually still alive and he wasn't dead. It's the same kind of like, wait, what?
Is this Bash Mother Week
No,
or
it's
It's
something?
not Bash Mother Week, but it does raise a lot of questions, and it is
Is
like,
there
wait,
anything else from your past you need us to know
Do
before
you
we...
realise how
Absolutely
much fucking
nothing.
time we waste waffling on about this?
Thank you, darling.
Knock it off.
Yes,
Or I'm
thank
going
you.
to fucking leave.
Yes.
Okay, next
listen,
thing, next topic.
Listen, hold on. If you're jealous that you're not the only
No.
prolific recording artist in the room, you can tell us.
No, I think you're all being so fucking stupid and get on with something else.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you.
Okay.
This is the man protecting his wife, Jack. This is
Okay.
what's happening.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. I will
Back
back
off.
down. I will back
Okay.
down. No more Sheikettes ever.
Next question. Okay. This question is for Jack. Whatever happened to Robert the doll you brought for Ozzy on the road trips together? And also, are you going to take any more of the Are you going to tape any more of the shows again? It was a great show.
You've missed out his name.
Sorry, and this is from John Walsh, 4998.
So Robert the doll is actually in my office. I have him.
Is he alive and well?
He's. I mean, you know.
Well,
You know, it's a tough question.
I must say, was that about, are we ever going to do that?
Detour again.
I'd love to do it.
Oh, I'd love
I
to.
would too. I had so much fun.
It was such a good time.
It was
We had a
something that
blast.
when I came on for the last season, I got genuinely jealous of you. Genuinely jealous of you because you got to do all these amazing things with Dad and see a side of Dad that
We had some fucking great time.
It was a great experience. Yeah, it's one of those things too, and it's that classic. Oh, you don't know how good it is in the moment until you're over with it.
And you look back.
Yeah, you're like, fuck. Like
I saw some plays with you, which I'll never forget.
Do you remember going to the Transylvania University and all the boxes of dicks?
Oh yeah.
What?
It was Transylvania University in Pennsylvania is one of the oldest universities in the country. And they had boxes of like preserved dicks.
Why?
Because it was like a medical studying facility.
Do you remember going to that prison? That I would not like to spend the night in that prison.
I have spent the night in that prison.
All night?
Not all night, but we were there till like 3 a.m. Yeah, that was Eastern State Penitentiary.
Daddy, when Daddy was first doing it and the idea came up, he goes, I don't know about this. Do I really want to do it? And now,
Yeah.
same thing as you, he looked back and loved it.
The difference with me doing that, when I go on tour with my band, I couldn't walk the streets because the autograph hunters would be stalking me out, you know. But I could go anywhere with you.
And you saw
And we got to
so much of the
really
country.
see
the place
America.
we were staying in wigwams.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we were in the teepees, yeah, that was it. That great. What was that? Capitol Reef in Utah.
Beautiful.
Oh, so
Sky.
beautiful.
I love that you guys did sound bath
The
and Dad just fell
sunsets
asleep.
were fucking magnificent there.
Yeah. Remember that Kelly just said, remember the sound bath?
Oh, yeah.
With the wolves?
Oh, yeah.
That was oh man, so many cool experiences. But yeah, I do have Robert the Doll.
Speaking though of spooky shit, welcome to the Osbournes Go Ghosts.
Yes.
Take it away, Jack.
Okay. We've been getting a lot of questions on, about the podcast of like, why don't we ever talk about paranormal stuff? I tend to not bring it up on this podcast because I have another podcast which is solely dedicated to that. It's Ghosts and Grit. Go check it out. But yeah, so I figured why not do a bit of a deep dive into some of my paranormal experiences that we've had individually as, as members of the family and collectively.
What are your theories on the paranormal? I can't even say it right. Paranormal.
What are my theories on the paranormal?
Well, some of the things we saw when we used to do, what do you think about these?
Osbourne's Want to Believe.
Yeah. Some of the videos were like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's the short answer is I don't know. I guess for the sake of answering this question, I'm going to say ghosts as a part of paranormal, because paranormal is such a wide spectrum. It includes Bigfoot, UFOs, everything else. But I think that there's certainly something. I have multiple theories as to what I think it could be, but it's definitely something to it. It's not everyone can't just be having some collective psychosis when they
it's like UFOs.
But I do believe I believe that there are ghosts or something that we call ghosts.
But the one I'll never forget was the art school in Ireland.
That footage
was fucking wild.
Yeah, because if that's fake, how did they fake it? That's what I don't get.
I mean, it's just
Bits
nuts.
of string.
What are you guys talking about?
So, on an episode of Osbourne's Want to Believe, there was this like boys' school in Ireland, and they started having crazy things happen, and it was footage from the security camera, and you're seeing chairs going down the hallway, lockers flying open. You're just seeing crazy shit happening.
Not all at once. Different stages of the night.
Yeah, and different places within the school. And
it's just like unexplainable.
Yeah, you're like, I don't get it. Okay, using logic here, yes, that could all be staged. They could have just made it look like a thing, but
some of them things that happened defy, reason.
I mean, I could sit here and explain you all my theories, but I fear I will lose you guys.
Okay, what was your... Okay, let's start with... Are we all believers in the room?
Yeah.
And do you believe in paranormal activity?
I said it so many times. I do and I don't until I actually witness it.
Even though
Seeing is believing.
Even though you've had all sorts of weird experiences with Jack when you've gone and...
And you've had out-of-body experiences.
I have. Twice in my life, but I just don't know.
What was your out-of-body experience?
Both of the times it was when I was really, really sick. And I was looking down on myself.
Wow. That was a near-death experience.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But you feel kind of very warm, very at peace.
When I had that seizure at Beale House, I can remember I felt this calm, like I've never felt a calm like
I know. It's a weird feeling.
It's a
really,
nice feeling.
It is a nice
it's
feeling.
Like you've let go.
Yeah.
But...
You're hovering.
After you had the seizure, did you feel drunk?
No.
I was saying the craziest thing.
He never spoke.
I was saying the craziest stuff when I came round. I was like...
You had a seizure?
Where were you?
On Fashion, please.
It would be coming out of his seizure.
Kelly was drinking too much Red Bull.
I had like...
A Red Bull-induced seizure?
I don't know if it was from that. I had been drinking the night before. And
alcohol withdrawal.
And that's probably what I was thinking. No, because it hadn't been that long.
Red Bull.
It was because it wasn't Red Bull, Mum. I was on this concoction of energy drinks, and I don't know if that had something to do with it. I don't fucking know. But regardless, when I came out of it, I stood up and I was like, yeah, let's get back to the show. I'm ready to finish my job. And they're like, Kelly, you just had a seizure. And I'm like, yeah, but I can finish the show. And they're like, no, you really can't. Like, you have to go to the hospital. And I remember being like, totally like pumped and ready to go.
You had like that adrenaline.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about saying hello to Auntie Jean?
Hi, Auntie Jean.
Hello.
Back to ghosts.
Yes.
Do I believe in them? I do.
There's some things that you cannot. Oh, it was a trick or whatever. It's something that defy reason. You know.
Yeah.
We've had experiences like that together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, when I think about the flashlight test and how.
Yeah, how can you have a conversation with a flashlight turning on and off? Like, it's, yeah. And when the door flung open and, I mean, we've had a lot of strange things happen.
Were you scared?
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, I love it when Jack gets scared because then I get terrified. Because it's like, if Jack's scared, then like, what the hell am I doing?
But I get scared
here?
really easily. But it's funny you say that because I'm the same way when I would work with Katrina. When she would get scared, I'd be like, this is
serious
Katrina
shit.
She could fucking walk right up to the devil. She wouldn't be scared. But yeah, it's...
Do you want to explain who Katrina is?
Okay,
for
Katrina
who don't
Weidman was my co-host on Portals to Hell, who actually just had a baby. So
Oh, congratulations. A little baby.
yeah, she's a little baby boy.
Oh, okay, Jack and I this weekend went to a friend of ours' daughter's 2nd birthday, and it was gorgeous, and everybody brought their babies, and there was some like fresh babies there, and our friends had just had twins, and they were lying on the floor, and all the little kids were around the babies, and it was so gorgeous.
Cute watching them all.
It was so gorgeous. And then I was like, I want another baby now.
Nothing more gorgeous than Maple kissing her cousin Sid and
And
hugging
Sid is
him.
just like, get the fuck away.
No, he's not. He loves Maple. He was grabbing her by the back of the head. He just loves her.
Did you see it, Ozzy?
Well,
Yesterday, Maple was kissing baby Sid.
She just like walks up. And...
So cute.
But anyway, back to ghosts.
Sydney.
Sydney.
Okay, back to ghosts.
But you've never heard a ghost or ever had a ghost
Mom,
talk to you?
I've had a fucking conversation with a ghost. No. But Jack has had intelligent responses.
I've heard things. I've heard my name being called out, which is
Jack.
No, it wasn't even as like wispy as that. It was at my old house. I was
Which one?
the one in Studio City. I was in bed and I just started falling asleep and I heard someone clear as day go, Jack, like that loud. And I shot up out of bed and I was like, who the fuck is in the house? And I thought it was one of the kids, and Ari like got up and she's like, who's that? And I thought it was one of the kids, but they wouldn't call me Jack. Mm-mm. So I've had that.
Actually, Pearl would now.
Pearl probably would now, yeah.
Could have been Pearl on the phone too.
No, it was late at night, and then I've heard whistling before. I've heard singing before.
Are you sure it wasn't a really loud fart that just went yak?
Very, very sure. Yep. Yeah. No. I've heard a lot more things than I've seen. I should say.
Okay. What do you think is as your very first paranormal experience?
When we were at Welders and we heard the walking down the hallway upstairs. When we were in Mum and Dad's bedroom, Mum had taken Amy to school. You and I were, bunking off school.
You know that sound of the floorboards.
Yes, and we heard someone walking down the hallway upstairs, and we called Mum on the car phone, and it was getting closer, and we thought someone had broken into the house. And I remember opening up your bedroom window and being like, Kelly, we're going to have to, if someone's here, we have to jump out the window because it's the only way out.
Can we explain why we would say we were going to jump out the window? Mom did have ladders put everywhere. Remember those things?
Oh, yeah, there were the fire ladders that we had, yes.
Mm-hmm. Remember those things that went out the window and then you'd pull the string and the ladders go down?
Yeah. But yeah, that was clear as day. And it wasn't a dog. It was footsteps coming down the hallway towards us.
And you still won't stay in the house by yourself?
No, because Welders is fucking haunted as shit.
I love being in Welders by myself. I don't get scared at all.
No, I don't.
I hate staying in Welders by myself.
I definitely feel watched in that house, though.
Yes.
Ozzy, would you stay in Welders by yourself?
No.
And Welders, by the way, is the name of our house in England.
I'd stay downstairs.
And I did an investigation in Welders and found out that it was a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah, for women during the war.
Before the war.
Oh, before the war.
Yeah. Yeah. And someone killed himself, a patient killed himself, not in the house, but on the property, threw herself in front of a train.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah. But
Wow.
Jamie's one of my old best friends. He will house sit for us. And a few years ago, he was house sitting and his baby had woken up in the night. Him and his wife went in to take care of their baby and they heard a woman singing in the house.
Shut up.
I swear to God. Have I never told you that?
No.
No, they heard a woman singing in the house and they both looked. Jamie is he makes fun of me for making ghost shows. He just thinks it's like the biggest joke ever. And he was like, they couldn't figure it out. They went around the house to see, is the radio turn on?
I've got a yearning now to go back.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, every day I wake up and I'm like, I wish I was in England.
Yeah, I've kind of put up a wall just because it's so damn expensive to fly us all there, but I found a good hack, so I'll be taking advantage of that.
Yes, you will.
If you could investigate in one location in the world that you haven't yet, where would you go?
Have you been to Ireland to investigate?
No, yeah, I'd like to go to some places in Ireland
And Scotland.
Yeah.
You can think like dangerous and inaccessible.
I did want to. I thought it would be an interesting, just because I like history so much, doing more battlefield, you know, famous areas of battle, like doing investigations around that, just because it kind of hits two buckets for me. But what about you? Like, where would you guys like to? And I know you want to go to that school in Ireland.
Pardon?
Would you like to go investigate that school in Ireland?
I'd like to go. There's a lot of haunted places, you know.
Yeah.
Would you go to Normandy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to go to like the Tower of London or one of the castles. And
I have a friend who was in Special Forces, and he was fighting a lot in Syria when, you know, with ISIS and all that. And because I got talking to him one day and I was like, you know, do you believe in ghosts and, you know, whatnot? And he's like, oh, absolutely. He's like, there were places that we would go and we would have a big battle to take a building from ISIS. And he told me the story. He's like, we went to this building that had been like a headquarters for ISIS. And he said, when we went in there, he's like, the battle went on for like days, took them to get it. Once they finally got the building, they went in there. And he said that there was just a bunch of severed heads that they'd left in random places just to freak out the Americans and the people trying to, you know, whatever, the local forces. And he said that place, he's never been in a place so terrifying in his life, and no one slept in the building. They all slept under their vehicles outside. He said it was just the craziest, spookiest feeling ever. Yeah. And you wouldn't think like, you know, a hardened special operations soldier would be like...
It's really dark.
Yeah, really dark. And I was like, you know, is there a thing within the like special forces community about believing in ghosts? He's like, yeah, a lot of guys do. Which I didn't know.
Our prisoners.
No, they were like prisoners that ISIS had taken, so...
Right, Western people.
No, they weren't Westerners, no.
Oh.
Just locals that they had, you know, were torturing, and, you know, anyone working with the Westerners, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what's been the most like mind-blowing thing that you and I have done.
Would you go down in one of those submarines to see the Titanic?
No.
Fuck no, not anymore.
Absolutely not.
Well,
The thought of it makes me feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah, I feel sick thinking about it. Going down in one of those little submarines to see the Titanic.
But what do you get out of it? It's pitch black the whole time. You have to be in something for, what is it, like 3 hours to get down there?
I think longer.
I think it's longer.
It's like a 12-hour thing.
Because it's so slow. You have to go so slow.
Could you imagine what they went through? It's so horrible.
I watched a video on YouTube about it. They were dead within like
a millisecond.
Yeah, it was like 100th of a second they were dead, and they said that it would be
like swatting a fly.
Yeah, like you're here 1 minute and gone. Like so they would have felt nothing.
Gone.
Because it takes.
They got the bodies out, right?
What was left of them?
Okay.
They were just dog shit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what happened to them.
There's actually. I should find it.
So what was the tapping that they heard back?
That was the debris falling. Apparently, that was like debris hitting either the ship or the seafloor.
Oh.
Would you go up to space?
Not now that I have kids.
I got no idea.
No desire.
No desire whatsoever.
There's too much shit we don't know about here. Let alone going up there.
What's that place in Hollywood where you go up and see the sky?
The observatory.
Yeah, I'd go sit there.
You know, I was saying to Mum the other day, people who work on the space station, they must be getting radiation from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
How are they?
That's a good question. I wonder, they must have some kind of protective coating.
Because there was a guy.
On the windows.
Yeah.
He spent a year there, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not even the
nice, Wesley.
Yeah,
Thanks
Wesley,
so
fucking
much.
get it, bro.
Yeah, scratch your ass on the rug.
Come on, Wesley.
That's a fucking... Wesley's a paranormal event.
Oh. Do you believe in ghosts?
That must have something like suit or.
I think there's there has to be something.
What do you think about these people that... Oh, I know what it was. They made a movie about this. It was a true story about this family that lived in this house, and there was a poltergeist in there. Mm-hmm. Did you see that movie?
Was that the one where they try to freeze it?
No.
No, that was the woman who was like sexually assaulted by a ghost.
I remember when I was
Did she get pregnant?
No, it was like this very famous case, and they made a movie. Like it wasn't just like a.
Shut up!
I swear to God,
it's a famous case where they made a movie about a woman that was sexually assaulted by a ghost.
Yes, and all these universities came in because they couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on, and when they would bring her to the hospital and they would do the rape, whatever the rape kit is, they would see like signs of
rape.
And they couldn't figure it out. And then they did this I forget what it was called.
The Doris Bittler case in Culver City.
Yes.
Wait, this is a Californian thing?
Yes.
Was she lying and it was her boyfriend?
No, it was like a thing that continued on for years and years and years. And they would videotape it. They would see this woman being like thrown around her room.
Why didn't she move?
She did.
Oh.
It was like a full-on crazy, to my knowledge, and then they tried to
It kept following her?
Yeah, and it went on until like for a long time, right?
And they created the movie The Entity.
Maybe she was faking it.
She was. If she was faking it, they couldn't figure out how she was faking it. So like those are the things that happen that you're like, well, what the fuck is this? But there is.
So how do objects become possessed then?
Here's how
Because, like, we have a clip of Robert the doll, and people want to know, like, is he still cursed, and where is he now?
Robert the doll that you bought wasn't the original Robert the doll. Mm-hmm. And so the guy was telling us when we went to that place, that museum, his people have actually bought the replica and sent them back. All these things.
Yeah. So here's my theory on that. Objects and symbols have meaning, right? a crucifix. It's not the fucking cross Jesus died on, but it has meaning to it. People believe that there's certain
People
powers.
are freaked out.
Yeah, and so
People are, you don't want this, Kibby.
yeah, it's a common thing with Robert the Doll.
Well, they used to
So he
say
thanked me.
some
He
of
thanked us, didn't he?
Yeah,
some of the statues in churches, a lot of children have claimed that they've cried or blood has come from their eyes and stuff like that.
yeah, there is something to it, you know, and I think the reason objects can get haunted, I jokingly say, like, okay, my bear that I've had for 38 years, there's a lot of energy that I've put into that item. You know, I've spent pretty much every night of my life with that bear in my vicinity. So why can't that absorb energy?
You can say that you sleep with your bear, Jack.
Well, not always, but yes, I still, you know, I still have a bear I sleep with. Yes, I'll say it.
3 in the bed.
But I believe objects can absorb energy that's put into it. It's kind of like, think about this.
It's like a transistor radio.
Sure.
You see one radio and you go somewhere else with a different radio. You can still hear the same program going on.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. Absolutely. I always use this example. When you play a gig, when you would do like a big outdoor venue and there'd be 35, 50,000 people at the show, and then they all leave. If you go and walk around the venue, there's still like a hum.
An energy.
There's an energy. There's a hum in the air.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because there were so many people all enjoying themselves, and so it kind of leaves an imprint.
Yeah.
Even though there could be no one there. I mean, we used to go walk around all the time after Ozfest.
I saw recently, when dogs, that's right. When the dogs are getting pissed off, I can feel it in the air.
I watched
I
this.
really can.
I watched this program.
Whoa, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Oh, you can feel the energy definitely in the air when they just look at each other and you can feel the tension. But I saw this show about this couple that had their dog for like 17 years and their whole life was the dog. And every night the dog would know it was bedtime and walk past their living room and go and get into bed. And they claimed that every night they could see their dog going past their living room and going into bed. They couldn't see the dog in the bed, but you would see the dog past the living room.
What about that thing where the guy dies and the dog who was given to a neighbour or would get out every night,
Yes.
go to the graveyard and sleep on the fucking grave where the guy was buried?
I've seen that with soldiers at funerals.
Yeah.
The soldiers lie on the
How the dogs, that they had worked with the dog, the dogs would go and like at the funerals they would lie on the coffin.
Oh yeah.
Listen, there's something to I have theories, but there is something to this. It's not black and white like mainstream science would have us all believe. There is very much a gray area to all of this. And by all of this, I just mean like the experience of life. Like there is a lot of unseen.
It's 100% there, but at the same time, it's not 100% the other way. It's something, there's a grey area.
In Africa, there was this game reserve, and one of the ranger's dogs was friends with one elephant, and they spent years together. Every day the dog would go find the elephant and they would hang all day, right? And the dog died. And the elephant picked him up, walked him all the way to the ranger's office and dropped him on the steps.
It's pretty cool. What's this clip? This is
Robert the doll.
This is when we went to visit him.
And then we'll go straight into the next clip of Mum.
There he is.
Robert has reportedly thrown his pet lion at caretakers here. But look here, we'll read the write-up. Visitors to the house claim they heard unexplained giggling noises emanating from the room where Robert was stored. Stories also circulated. The doll moved itself around the room.
Robert's a creepy freaking thing. There's been, like, Chucky was based on him. There's a ton of movies based on Robert.
I didn't realize that was the doll Chucky was based on.
Yeah.
Even more creepy. So, Mom, I think out of all of us, you're the most non-believer.
Shun the non-believer! Shun!
So, let's take a look at this clip of when you participated in Jack's Night of Terror at the Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula. And
shit got weird.
It got really weird, and it's unexplainable.
I don't think you've seen this, have you?
I have, yeah.
Sharon, are you okay?
It's very disturbing.
Very fucking disturbing.
What the hell was that?
Have you not seen it before?
Never seen it before.
That's when Mum passed out. Do you remember when we were here and Mum went to go film with Jack?
You look like you fucking died.
Well, she went into she was totally coherent, everything. She put noise-canceling headphones on and a blindfold. She was doing an experiment, which is called the Estes experiment. And she asked a question, and then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, over a period of about 2 minutes, she slowly, like as if she was being moved in slow motion, goes back and then goes limp. And I thought she was fucking around because before we started filming, Mum goes, "Oh, well, why don't I just get possessed and we'll go home early?" And we were all like, ha, 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 okay. And then that happened. So I kind of go into the room thinking, oh, she's just fucking around. And she's completely unresponsive. Wouldn't respond to me shaking her, wake up, wake up. She then stopped breathing. I had to give her like 2 or 3 resuscitation breaths. And it took paramedics coming, giving her oxygen and like doing vitals for her to even come round. And so when you went to hospital, what did they say to you?
Nothing was wrong.
That doesn't look like nothing is wrong. I can't. Yeah, it was very, very odd. It's my belief that was some kind of.
You look like you've died.
It's my belief that was some kind of spiritual attack,
possession,
demon attack. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, but no one. I have the only. I showed it to.
Here, this house.
No, that was up in near Ojai. The only thing that I ever got. So I've shown this to doctors. I've shown this to other paranormal investigators, and I had 2 people I showed it to, who were very familiar with the phenomenon of channeling, and both didn't know each other. Both said it independently that is often what happens when people are channeling.
You know that experience when I got my fortune tarot cards.
Oh, you had your tarot card read, right?
I mean, it was fucking incredible.
Oh, didn't they predict us being born and you marrying Mum?
I was married to my ex. She's going to have 3 more children. I remember thinking, this is a load of crap. She can't have any more kids. She had a hysterectomy. And you're going to move to America, all these things. This guy next to him was writing all this information down. I just forgot about it and I threw it in my drawer. And when I left, I phoned up to speak to the kids. She said, "Can I ask you a question? Do you remember going?" Oh, yeah. She said, it's remarkable how accurate them cards were.
How many years had passed?
Oh, fucking hell. 6 years.
Wow.
Wow.
I was there with Sabbath rehearsing at Bridge Farm before it was maybe 7 years.
Wow.
And it was like, yeah.
Actually, when I just looked at that, It's kind of weird.
It's very fucking weird,
Weird.
Mum. It's very weird. The fact that you went to, the best hospital in the city, they ran every test imaginable. They thought it was a stroke. They thought it was a heart. They ran every test. And the only conclusion, remote thing that anyone ever said...
fucking dosha.
Oh, very funny.
No, the only thing that they said was,
they drug tested Mum when she got to the hospital.
Yeah, because they thought it was a fentanyl overdose. And yeah, they were like, is this like a fentanyl? Is someone they met? Yeah. But the only thing was your doctor said, it could have been some kind of narcoleptic attack.
What's narcolepsy?
It's where you can't stop yourself from sleeping.
Oh. Or it could have been she was fucking tired.
Yes, but how often do you stop breathing when you're tired?
I know. She said, told me how tired you are as well.
Let's look at some more spooky shit. This is from...
But wait, before we go on, what do you think it was?
Mom got the demons in her.
I think...
You think what?
that maybe something was trying to contact
Get in
me.
or get out.
Get in.
Because you've never really said that. You've just always been like, I don't know.
I think.
There's my baby outside. Can I let him in?
He wants to be scared. Let him in.
He wants to get so scared. Come on, LV.
LV!
Shut up, Wesley.
LV, come on! LV!
Oh, I thought you were bringing Sydney in, not the dog. I was like, Wesley.
Love you.
Come on, Wes.
Shut the fuck up. You live with him.
Give me my
Come on, you sleep together even.
Wesley is not a nice man.
stuck.
Wesley sees a ghost.
Wesley is a ghost.
It's okay.
Oh,
You
he's
don't own me.
possessed.
You don't own me. You can't do that.
All right, back to this. We are at the Queen
so
Mary.
we're at the Queen Mary, and there's... I don't even know how to explain this one. Let's just take a look and then we'll talk about it. My God, I'm seeing myself with fake nails.
Where was it? Whereabouts?
Leave this out.
I'm in the rope room of the Queen Mary by myself
She's starting.
with a blindfold on and headphones on so I can't hear.
Is there a message you want us to know?
Save me.
Pause it for a second. So I'm in a completely different part of the ship. Mm-hmm. She's behind like 2 or 3 doors, like up a ladder, like cannot hear me. I'm asking questions, and then Kelly is just saying whatever's coming to mind. So she's answering questions that I'm asking when she can't hear me, not even in the same room as me.
I also keep seeing
I can
what
hear her, she can't hear me.
seems like a human heart that is beating with blood everywhere and a knife.
Interesting.
Was that in here or on there?
Both.
What?
You didn't hear that?
The thud? I thought it was the TV.
Is a...
Oh.
Okay.
Do something. Make a noise.
That's nuts.
Like, oh.
The green light means there's something in the room. Movement.
No, so that's something called a melmeter. Melmeter, the green light means something with an electromagnetic signature had come into like the vicinity of it. That's like
What would have electromagnetic?
anything from a cell phone to a human to, but it has to have like electricity to it. It can't just be, but if someone would, if a human would walk into the room, it wouldn't change it. But if you went and touched it, it would.
What did you feel, Kel? Were you frightened?
I was never frightened on the Queen Mary, except for that one time when you put me in the bottom of the ship.
And the shadow moved?
Yeah, and nobody knows where the shadow came from because I was at Mum. When I tell you I was down there by myself, there was no crew with me. There was nothing. They set up the cameras and everybody left.
Yeah, that was used as a troop carrying the war.
Yes, it was. And where Kelly was an area where they put German POWs, and a bunch of them died because it was near the boiler room.
Yeah,
and they all essentially like
suffocated.
They all suffocated. Oops.
You know when you say you can feel your...
Like you're not on your own.
No, your heart beating. Have you never had it that you feel it, you hear it in your ears?
No, yeah, but you hear your own heartbeat in your ears.
Yeah, have you
when
ever had
when
that?
you hear a heartbeat that's not your heartbeat because you can feel your heartbeat, it's weird.
All right, what's this next clip?
Okay, this next clip is from Osbourne's Night of Terror in Virginia City at the Piper's Opera House. Do you remember when we did the flashlight test?
Mm-hmm.
And I got drained?
This was a really interesting... This was actually a very active investigation.
I just feel so tired.
You literally seem like you're fighting to keep your eyes open.
What city
Are you
was
draining,
this?
Kelly?
Virginia City.
It's an old mining town in Nevada. It's really cool.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Theater.
Okay.
Spooky.
Did you run out after that?
No, we didn't.
No,
but-
it went on for like an hour.
Yeah.
It's like yes
We
or
were
no
having
question.
an intelligent conversation with flashlights. It was like people are gonna say like, oh, it was because they were barely touching and the
Even still, like it doesn't work that way. Even if like
I know that because I went up and you had to physically touch the flashlight for it to
turn on.
turn on.
Yeah. And it would turn on for yes. So we would answer yes or no questions. The flashlight would turn on for some questions, not for all. It was very weird.
Didn't somebody get scratched? A guy got scratched in the crew.
Yeah, that was on Portals to Hell. Anytime I hear about someone getting scratched, though, I'm always like, well, you know, we're in shitty old buildings. You could lean up against a nail coming out of a wall. Or, you know, there's always something to scratch yourself on. So I've always been very skeptical about the scratching.
Do we have any footage of the conversation that we were having with the flashlight?
I don't think no, we don't have much of it.
All right. Oh, here we go. They're all coming in. They're all possessed.
No.
Get in, sit down, let's go. You are just the terrorists.
Oh, why are you wet?
Gee, why are all the dogs in here now?
Oi, whoa. Wesley.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. It makes
Knock it off.
It makes it very hard for editing
Knock it off,
sound
Wes.
when there's all the dogs panting and barking, and it
But our
does.
listeners love to
No,
hear
I get it. I love the dogs. Yes, absolutely. However,
Do you see that? I got a kiss.
see, it doesn't. It's just not.
That was on film.
With that noise,
But we're scared. The ghosts are coming to get us. We
Wesley.
need the dogs.
I'm gonna turn
Stop.
Wesley into a ghost if he doesn't
yeah,
shut up.
yeah.
Go sit with your dad.
He's a fucking
Look, he's
asshole.
still fucking.
Wesley, you don't own this room, you prick.
He says I do.
Be a good boy. Don't start stuff.
Elvis, you couldn't be more on top of me.
Hey, Wesley, you're gonna need to shut the fuck up, or I'm gonna have to kick you out because the microphones could pick
He's the
that up.
troublemaker.
He wants all the fuss.
I hate this so much.
What? How can you say this? This is our life. This has always been our
No,
life.
I know, but do you know what is also our lives? Delivering a quality product to our listeners.
But they love the dogs.
I'm sure they do, but when
All
they're
right,
driving...
everybody quiet.
All right, let's go. What's the scare, when you really think about it, what's the most scared you've ever been on an investigation?
There's like different types. Like probably with Mom, that was the most scary. Cause,
Oh, that was terrifying.
yeah, that's like...
It's different kind of
It's
scary.
a different kind of scary. Anytime I've had to sleep in a location that we've investigated, it's always been...
It's creepy. I don't like
I
it.
hate it. You never really sleep.
No, you don't.
And it's just very
There's
uncomfortable.
that place in New York which was a borstal.
Which
A
was
borstal near New York.
A borstal?
Where they sent bad kids.
Oh, like a juvenile detention facility.
And it was like, it's supposed to be really haunted.
I haven't heard of that place. Not the mental home.
Well, I think it may have been, but it was a mental home then.
I think there is a place. Isn't there a place near Jones Beach? But
What's the creepiest location?
Creepiest location. I don't like doing asylums or old hospitals.
Yeah.
Or prisons. Those aren't fun.
No.
It's just because it's just a sad energy there. Because it's
like that one prison was so fucking bad.
Terrible. Yeah, and that was
in the little cell doors.
Yeah, it was the first penitentiary in the country. It's where the
doors to the cells.
They had to crawl in.
Yeah, and then
they were in there 23 hours a day in this tiny fucking room.
Yeah.
Could they stand up?
Yeah.
No, they could stand up, but it was like an archway.
And when they took them out to, like, if you were going out for exercise, you had to wear a hood and you couldn't talk because the whole point was, like, penitence. Like, you have to penitence? Is that's right? Penance. Yeah, you had to do your penance or whatever, and that meant being in silence. You could only read the Bible.
You don't know Al Capone having a luxury cell. It was a fucking dump.
But he had a radio. Al Capone was in there.
Did he have his own food?
Probably.
Well, this has been a very interesting episode. Rehashing all the spooky stories.
Love a bit of spooky stories.
Hey, we got the animals.
And you can catch more of them over at Ghosts and Grit, so go check it out. And go check out my Patreon.
Oh, yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That is it, if we want it to be it. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Violet says goodbye.
Hello, babies. Discover more shows and exclusive series at osbournemediahouse.com.